what we've got to face up to is that there are 61 million children who are not going to school, that there are 500 million girls who will never complete their education, and that there are 750 million adults who are illiterate because they've never had the chance of education. And what we've now got to do as part of Education First, which brings together all the organisations concerned about education under the leadership of the Secretary General of the United Nations, is create a momentum for change between now and the end of 2015. Remind people that we are committed to achieving the universal education goal by the end of 2015, and work with organisations like Education International, which represents 30 million teachers and educators, to raise public awareness about the right of every single child in the world to have a basic education. If by the end of 2015 we can mobilise the resources, we can hire the teachers, we can build the schools, we can deliver the educational materials, and we could then be the first generation in history that is able to say that every single child is going to get an education. I think teachers have a huge influence on every single pupil's life, and if you talk to people who've grown up and been at school, obviously, the influence that the teacher has on them is of such importance. And many people say that apart from the parents, the most important influence on their life is the contribution made by a single or individual teacher. So no one should underestimate the importance of teachers in shaping the values and the views and the lives of millions of children around the world. And what we've got to do is recognise that we are 2 million teachers short, that we've got to train and retrain more teachers, that we've got to invest in having teachers with proper pay and conditions, and at the same time we've got to raise the prestige that teachers have around the world so that people recognise how important education is to the health of a society, to the success of an economy, as well as to the individual opportunity that a pupil or student has as a result of the benefit of good teaching. That's why the Education First initiative is not just about enrolling children at school, it's about quality education, and it's about an interest in citizenship, about how children at school recognise that they have rights, but they've also got responsibilities. And so Education First is bringing together, if you like, the important roles of a teacher, not just to impart knowledge, but also to teach young people about citizenship. What has worried me for some months now is that as a result of the recession in 2008 and 2009, and now of governments cutting back on public expenditure, that education aid to developing countries who need that aid to be able to expand their education system is being cut. And I worry that just at the time when we recognise how important education is to unlocking individual opportunity, to the development of successful economies, that we're going to prejudice our goal of universal education by significantly cutting back on aid. And there are many governments in countries who, when faced with choices about priorities, decide wrongly, in my view, that they should sacrifice investment in education for children. So we have got to create a public awareness about the importance of education, about the cost effectiveness of education, the value for money in education, and also about the dangers of prejudicing the future of a generation of young people who will be denied their proper chance to develop their skills and get qualifications and then play an important part in the life of their countries. I think the challenge is now to alert people to the fact that we do not spend enough on the education of children.